Wasabi Gangsters, it's me, Chance Dillon, here to talk to you about books. Man, I will say this at the top. This is a hard seat to get in today. Just like to sit here and do this. Just want to acknowledge that at the top of the order here. Okay, I am about 5 chapters into the first part of Empire of the Dawn. I'll talk about this first because it's more brief. We pick up right where we left off. Again, the framing narrative, the way that it's used in this series, top notch. And Jay Kristoff's prose is just amazing. Also, the narrator, Damian Lynch, I think his name is. He's very, very good. And of course, I just love this freaking cover. But what a great book so far. We are getting some characters we love in the series back together in a way where we're seeing how they've changed so early on in the story. And trauma very early in the story as well, which makes total sense, especially if you consider everything that happened in Empire of the Damned, and just sort of the connection between these characters. It feels so real, so alive. Very good story, very good book. I'm excited to kind of get deeper into that one. And then I'm on chapter 63 of Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas in the Throne of Glass series. I will be doing the tandem read next. This one, I'm starting... I want to start off by saying I am enjoying this book. This is a good book. This series is a good series. I think reading Assassin's Blade kind of made me privy to a few, I don't want to say plot holes, but it sort of feels like that. And again, like, who am I to throw a stone in this situation? Like, again, Sarah J. Maas is a great storyteller. There are some things that my suspension of disbelief, I'm unable to apply it. There's just some things around a particular character. I won't say who, but our main character is attached to this character. There's obviously a lot of trauma there, which makes sense. That part does make sense. Also, it seems like there's some things just kind of thrown in there at some points for the sake of the plot, and which I know is normal. I know that's like a normal thing. Things are thrown in there for the sake of the plot in stories, period. There is preparation that you can do on the back end to like kind of go back in and make it feel earned, and there are some things that just don't feel earned for me, and it is kind of pulling me from my suspension of disbelief a little bit. That said, there's like some evolutions of characters that I'm really liking in this book in particular. There's others I don't love so much, but ultimately I do think that it's a great story so far. I think Air of Fire is my favorite of the series. I really wish, and I know this is a hot take, but I really wish I waited to read Assassin's Blade until the end of the series. I know, like, and by the way, I haven't read Beyond Queen of Shadows. I sort of know the things that we were getting in Assassin's Blade are probably going to come into play later, just in terms of some characters maybe that we meet. And so I think the last few books of the series, we're going to start to see some of those relationships come back around, which is cool. And also like the little homages to the stuff that happened in Assassin's Blade. Again, rule of cool. Very cool. I also wish that I read it at the end of the series completely, because it really did kind of throw my suspension of disbelief. There's some things that I feel like were just mulled over in book 1 that if they were mentioned with as much fervor and intensity as like the character feels them in this book, if they were mentioned with that intensity in book 1, it would make a lot more sense. My suspension of disbelief would be there. And it probably would maybe have been like a few sentences like throughout the book, like 1 or 2 sentences at 2 different points or 3 different points of the book, that would have made me feel like, okay, this is like an earned feeling, an earned emotion. That said, again, like I am able to justify it through a lot of the trauma that the character that we see experiences, especially because it's like just some things that like kind of make me generally uneasy relating to a particular mentor figure. But yeah, it's a good story. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm very excited to get into the tandem read. Next, I will be jumping into that again right after this. And when I'm done with Empire of the Dawn, I will be jumping into, for like my Empire of the Dawn read, like I have 2 reads going at a time lately. I'm able to do that. I will likely do the Return to Edan, finish the Edan trilogy, and then maybe get into Robin Hobb's second trilogy in the realm of the Elderlings. We got to see. I'll see as that unfolds, or maybe just completely something out of the fantasy realm. You know, we'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. And let's get to the writing update. Again, no Berserk this week, unfortunately, or Elric or Conan, but I am going to get into my writing update, which is a lot, actually. I completely finished the rough outline for Mercy's 3rd volume. I've put out a feeler for Runeborn members of some title options, like a poll for you guys to check out that's up until May 31st. over on my Patreon. You guys can go to my Patreon and check that out. Also, I do my newsletters like if you want to be up to date with my newsletter, you go to chancellorandauthor.com and you subscribe to my newsletter there, and then you get every week, like from now on, all live. Like I send them out Thursday nights. Also, I do upload those to my Patreon. They're like a week or two behind over on my Patreon for free for you guys to check out my writing updates with exact word counts and where we're at. Right now, we're around the 70,000 word mark, which is a great week. The outline was really fun to go through. We got up to about 73 chapters in the third volume, which is up from the 44 from book one. I think 46 in book one and 44 in book two. But it's funny I say that because chapter 44 in the third volume is a place, if I am going to split it into two volumes, I think chapter 44 is where I would do that. The issue is the back 29 chapters wouldn't be, I don't know if it's going to be long enough to justify an entire fourth volume because the narrowing of perspective, and when I say narrowing, I mean we are literally getting less perspectives in the back the back 29 chapters of Mercy's third volume. And why? I don't know. Like maybe there's people that die. Maybe that happens, or maybe there's we sum up some story arcs that like needed completing, and we got there. That's not always death. Like we're at the end of a series, like we're gonna, which is exciting because in 2027, the Mercy Saga series will be done, which is like really crazy to think because I know I'm writing this right now. I do think the word count is going to bubble close to 300,000 for the third volume, and if that is the case, it will be the only volume. If we're pushing that 350 mark, I will split it at chapter 44, and there is a natural like sort of stopping point. That's built in because again, I wrote this as a 2-arc story, expected for 4 volumes. But getting to the end here and like seeing the outline and seeing kind of where we're going, it would make sense to keep it as a single volume instead of doing a 4-volume duology. Do a 3-volume duology where the first 2 books are an arc and then the third book would be an arc as well. So that is the 2 possibilities right now. I'm open to both, so we'll see as we go. I'm really going to feel it out as we write. I don't want to set anything in stone just yet, but that is sort of where my intention is to finish the book and kind of see where we're going. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. I also got a few songs under my belt this week and weekend. Just just really sat down and got some catharsis out of writing those songs, which, I do have poetry over on my Patreon as well. My Runeborn subscribers can see it. You can go and pay for it individually if you'd like. That's an interesting place to plug. But I wrote a few that I sent over to my cousin. I think musically he's gonna work his magic maybe. And I played him, of course, and I just am not as well practiced as he is as far as the guitar goes, and I play well, but I think you can unlock more with a little bit more practice that my cousin has, and he is a singer-songwriter, so it's going to be really cool to see kind of how he plays with those songs. I'll keep the titles to myself for now. Maybe I'll put them in my newsletter for you guys to see this evening, as it were. But that's it, guys. That's really it this week. As far as the updates go for reading and writing, I'm really looking forward to getting the third volume going. We are getting some scenes. I have some like lines of dialogue cooked up that are like hitters for me that are again more catharsis as well. I would read it off to you now, but I think I'm just going to type it in my newsletter. You guys can check that one out later. It's this one's not like lovey-dovey, but it is sort of just about humility. Because we have these characters that are like paragons to a bunch of people, but I think morals especially in this genre is one of those things that I think people play with a lot, and I think it's a really cool. I came up with a really cool line of dialogue actually that I love a lot, and I think I'm gonna play with that a little bit more as well. Anyway, that is all. I'm gonna do my Instagram video now, my 3-minute long one. I'm going to record that so I can send the update over on the other socials. I'm grateful for you guys following along. So grateful, really, really, really so grateful. We passed 350,000 Kindle pages read. I got to check the update. We're probably really pushing for 400,000 soon, which is all exciting. I sent off the manuscript for book 1 after going through Maxwell's changes to Tantor, and they're going to, Simon Vance is getting ready to record now, which is really exciting for that September 22nd release. And that's it, guys. That is it. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. And I will see you all. Oh, man. It's already getting a little rugged. I will see you all next week. I'll see you all next week. Or if you're in my newsletter, you can check that out too. Later.